Hello there. Welcome to you. Thank you for joining this live chat session. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with loud and clear, Samuel Falake. Warm welcome to all of you on joining this live chat session. Uh, Three main topics in this live chat for you, which I'll speak on. I'll take your questions too. I'll respond to your comments too. Firstly, is a new military operation going to start in a region in Ethiopia? We have received some reports about mobilization of Ethiopian military equipment. So, in which region the operation could be launched? Details for you in this video. Secondly, how many Eritreans have been arrested in Addis Ababa so far? Eritrean activists are accusing Ethiopian government of having launched a crackdown on Eritreans. We have received some bits of information about the actual number of Eritreans arrested so far, though no official word. Secondly, Ethiopian government's reports, documentaries, discussions about Red Sea ongoing. University held a discussion about access to the Red Sea this week. Before starting my talk, let me welcome the viewers, the participants who have joined this live chat session. Klaus New is the first one who has commented. He's always first or second when it comes to commenting in live chats. I think he waits for the live chats. Thank you, Klaus. East Afro Dude says Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam. Stay blessed, East Afro Dude. Samuel Falake says greetings, dear Sajid Bhai. Samuel Falake, brother, greetings to you too. Uzil Gunner says he's second. Uzil is another regular viewer. Peace and love, one of my regular viewers. Warm welcome to you, peace and love. Jonas Bijine, Samson Hale, Jambal from Gondar, Bari Boro, Erithio, again, a very familiar name. He is here in live chats very frequently now. Who is the operation against this time, Sajid? I'll speak on that, Arithio. Araya, well, the Kedan says good evening. Warm welcome to you, Araya. I see you quite often here. Samson Hale, too, familiar name. Ambaccio, the Gabriel Abudi attends live chats off and on. Zalak Hale, Aman Yehune, Jonas Bijine says, would you say Abiy Ahmed would survive the 3 months? Definitely. Very short and quick answer, definitely. Engeshom photo. Abiy is not under any threat, by the way. Magatism, stop the crap. Double A, Amos Said, Sina, Jim Jimo, Yusuf Kabede, AB. Let me just speak a little about people talking about Abiy. Can he survive the next 3 months? Abiy is in a strong position. There is no threat to his government. No group is a major threat to Addis Ababa's government. Abiy has full control on military, on security forces, on regional governments, on intelligence agencies, on his party too. Some fissures in his party. Yes, definitely there are some fissures, but to say that Abiy is going to be removed, I don't see it happen, by the way. So there's no question about that. There's no question about Abiy's strong position which he is in. Dijine Teklehmanot says hi. Tadase Girben Dasta says good evening, Sajid. Yadita Taya, thank you, Sajid, for the news. Thank you, Yadita, for following the news, following the channel. Emmanuel Jimenez says, Assalamu alaikum, brother. Walaikum assalam, Emmanuel. Stay blessed. Let me start with the new story about Eritrea first. How many Eritreans have been arrested? Firstly, this new story. Secondly, the discussions held at a university in Ethiopia about access to the Red Sea. And in the end, we'll talk about the new military operation, which seems to be in the making in Ethiopia. Uh, how many Eritreans have been arrested in Addis Ababa so far? Ethiopian government has not shared any details. But the claims being made by Eritrean activists, are they correct? Yunus is asking about Sudanese conflict. I'll respond to it, Yunus. Please listen to me for a while, for a few minutes. I want to speak about Eritreans arrested. Then I'll speak about the balance of power between RSF and SAF in Sudan. How many Eritreans have been arrested in Addis Ababa so far? Total number of arrested people in the last few days is around 1,000, confirmed by Addis Ababa police. Number of Eritreans arrested is less than 100. Uh, Even 100 is an exaggeration. I would say number would be less than 50. I could not get exact details. I tried to contact people. Government is not sharing details. But so far, what I've been able to confirm is that a few dozen Eritreans have been arrested. The number is not big. How many Eritreans are in Addis Ababa? Obviously, thousands. But a few dozen have been arrested. We cannot say that the operation launched recently targeted Eritreans. And some of them could be involved in criminal activities. I'm not saying that all Eritreans are involved in criminal activities, but some could be involved because refugees, obviously, they don't have means of earnings. Sometimes they don't get enough food. They're involved in illegal activities. It happens. But it does not mean that all Eritreans are responsible for crimes being committed in Addis Ababa. So the propaganda launched by Eritrean activists is exaggeration. The activists say as if Ethiopian government has launched a major arrest campaign of Eritreans. They're comparing this arrest campaign to what happened more than 2 days ago, 2 decades ago, when EPRDF led by TPLF launched a big crackdown on Eritreans in Ethiopia, and thousands were arrested back then. No, we cannot say that a similar crackdown on Eritreans is underway. I am following the developments very closely. We want to set the record state. We want to keep the record state. If some people are spreading propaganda, we should counter this propaganda. If Eritreans are arrested, I'll be the first one to report. And I have reported about arrests of Eritreans, to single arrest, etc. But to say that large-scale arrest campaign of Eritreans in Ethiopia is underway, it's an exaggeration. It's propaganda. Propaganda already being launched against Ethiopian PM, Ethiopian government, after PM Abiy took a position saying that Ethiopia has natural rights to gain access to the Red Sea. Since then, we've been seeing Eritrean activists criticize Ethiopian PM, back Afano fighters, and they have been finding opportunities to portray Ethiopian government as failed government. That is why it's part of propaganda. No large scale arrests ongoing. The propaganda should be avoided because it leads to complications. It leads to tensions between the two countries, between the two peoples. Eritreans live in Ethiopia, stay in Ethiopia. There are tens of thousands of Eritreans. So if you keep on spreading propaganda about the rest, obviously you're creating difficulties for Eritreans living in Ethiopia. That is what I've been able to confirm. Now, a question from one of the viewers who asked about who has about Sudan, who has upper hand in Sudan? Obviously, RSF. Rapid support forces have upper hand. They have momentum on their side. That is why Burhan agreed to meet with Hamathi. Hamathi lacks international recognition. Otherwise, his forces are in control of more territories. Hamathi's forces are in control of territories single-handedly. They don't need allies to be in control of territories in Khartoum, Bari, Al Jazeera, Wad Madni, parts of Kordofan, and Darfur. But wherever Burhan's military is, that military needs allies. Militias are operating there, tribal militias are operating there, and Burhan's military is not the sole authority in those areas. So that is why I think RSF is in a stronger position. Samson Hele, hi Mr. Sajid, the military equipment, the ENDF has been taken to Western Tigray. No, what I have learned is about another region. It's not about Western Tigray. I want to say my opinion on Ethiopian politics by joining you live on YouTube. Is it possible? Sina Jim Jimo says. Sina, contact me on my email through email SAJID 6720000. Though I always welcome members to be on this channel. They're not willing to be on my views and news. Otherwise, those who have become members, by clicking the link given in description section, they can appear on my views and news. They can send videos, their audio messages too, but they're not willing. You're not member, but still, I am willing to take you as a guest. But let me introduce myself to you, and you introduce yourself to me. We can reach some understanding about that. So contact me on my email, sajid6720000 at the rate of gmail.com. The address is given in description section as well. Ambacho says, why you mean Eritreans? If there is security issue, it is common everywhere. Yes, I agree. AZ King has joined, one of my members. Welcome, AZ King. Stop the Crab says, Abi needs to pack it up and move to UAE to work as a butler. Abi, the last 3 years, we heard similar claims that Abi was about to pack up, and he was purchasing properties in the UAE, but he's here. And I said earlier, in a stronger position. Dejan says, not really. Fano is in Bahirdar. Fano is everywhere, but not actually in control of main territories, main towns, cities. Fano is everywhere. Fano can carry out attacks everywhere in Amhara, but Fano cannot hold on to its gains. Fano cannot control Bahirdar. Fano cannot control all the airports in Amhara. Fano cannot control all the military camps of ENDF. Fano has some limitations. It's not that everything has collapsed in the Amhara region. Where is the government embassy of Eritrea? They are not talking about the rest. Yes, they're not talking about rest because there is no rest campaign. Large-scale rest campaign of Eritreans ongoing. One comment I disagree with. Stop the Crab says, why are Eritreans still in Ethiopia? The Ethiopian-Eritrean alliance honeymoon is over. Well, if Eritreans flee their country because of the problem there, because of the situation there, they flee atrocities, they flee the internal situation. So if they are in Ethiopia, they have not committed a crime. They have every right to be here. They're refugees here. So no one should just expel them because they're Eritreans. Yes, if they're found involved in criminal activities, in working for Eritrean government, they can be expelled, they can be arrested. But we should not say that Eritreans should not be in Ethiopia. WM Sajid, my man, I enjoy your balanced analysis. Thank you, WM. Yunus says, what is Eritrean embassy's position on its citizens' arrest? No position so far. Nothing said by the embassy so far. Michael Kidan, hi Sajid, welcome. I'm hearing you waking on raining evening. Keep the good work and Merry Christmas. Stay blessed. Waldo says, just say you don't know, stop being hypocrite. I told you what I know. It's up to you to believe or not. Felipe Miguel has joined, another member of the channel. Welcome, Felipe Miguel. Hi, Sajid. He says, thank you for your great work. Are there any news on the detention campaign that the government was planning to carry on, as you reported some days ago? Yes, very important point. No, so far, government has not started large-scale arrest campaign of government officials. Uh, and sometimes, by the way, government tests waters before starting big campaigns. Government tests waters, and maybe people know in advance. A minister has fled the country, Siom Espen, and maybe others too in hiding. But the campaign has not been launched so far. Rather, people in Addis Ababa have been arrested. But and there could be Fano elements, supporters of Fano, in 1,000 people arrested so far. The government has not made the identities of those who have been arrested public. When will you come to Ethiopia? Viz no fear says. When will you invite me to Ethiopia? When will you guarantee my security there, by the way? Yamlak says Somaliland getting recognition from 13 countries next year. I don't know. Somaliland has been in quest of this recognition for years. It has not happened so far. Magatism says Sajid Fano seems to be getting good traction in Amhara region. I think this is survival phase for Fano. This phase is not about expanding operation because the trump card which Ethiopian forces have has been launched, and that is air operation, major air operation with drones, jets, bombers in operation. Fano fighters, if they can survive for a few months, they can then come back with a bigger force. So I think these days, even their survival would be their achievement, I think. Ahmed Said, the only neutral media about Ethiopia. Thank you, Brother Sajid. Thank you for appreciating Ahmed Said. Mesfin says, hi, best analyst. Thank you, Mesfin. Daniel Amde has become a member. He has joined the channel and he's a member now. Welcome to My Views and News members committee. Daniel Amde, warm welcome to you. Afite Zola, how much does a drone ammunition cost? I don't know about exact cost, but the TV2s use laser guided munitions, which are costly. They use MAML munitions. These munitions are manufactured by the company which manufactures Turkish TV2 drones. Rocketson is the name of the company, I think. So these drones use those munitions manufactured by the same company, and Ethiopia has to buy the drone and ammunition from Turkey. Drones are costly, but if Ethiopia can afford to buy a Kinji, which is way more expensive than TB2, so it can easily afford to buy the munition as well. Sigai Olana Sadid is a genuine analyst. Thank you, Sigai. Engeshom Photo, you're always reluctant to criticize the Eritrean regime. Come on. People say, Sajid, you are working against Eritrean government. You are anti-Eritrea. You are anti-SAS Aboki. And you say that I am reluctant to criticize. I am not an activist. I am not working for a cause here. I don't want to spearhead a democratic change in Eritrea or Ethiopia. I just report. I analyze. I report. And that is what I do. So don't expect that I would be very vocal in criticism of Eritrean government or Ethiopian government for the sake of bringing about a change in these countries. No, I will only report. I will analyze with uh, impartiality. That is what my job is. I think journalists should not be activists. Sometimes we cross uh, red lines. If you are an activist, so you should be an activist, but we should not be an activist in the guise of a journalist. Someone says, don't come to Ethiopia, rather take me to Pakistan. You want to visit Pakistan? Welcome. I would welcome you if you want to visit Pakistan. Engeshom says, but one person's arrest matters and the embassy is expected to say something about it. You're talking about Eritrean embassy. How many Eritreans are in Libya, in Sudan, in Ethiopia? Have you heard any statement from Eritrean government? The Eritreans are smuggled, tortured, raped. Some die on their way to Europe. Have you heard from Eritrean government? Had Eritrean government so caring about its people, the people wouldn't have fled the country. Betre Mariam Casa says, thanks for updates, dear Sajid. Try to keep neutral, stay neutral. Yes, I am. Now, second news story, let me speak a little about that too, and that is the discussion held at a university about the Red Sea in Ethiopia. Samra University is in Afar region of Ethiopia, and the university hosted a discussion about access to the Red Sea, that it is very important for Ethiopia to have access to the Red Sea. And that discussion was attended by universities from Mekelle, from Somali region, from Addis Ababa too. And the participants spoke, they said that the universities should play their role as well. They should engage universities in other countries. And it is a matter of survival for Ethiopia to gain access to the Red Sea, direct access to the Red Sea. Now, holding of this discussion in Afar is very crucial. Why? Because in case of any uh, escalation between Ethiopia and Eritrea over Assab, Afar would be the battleground. And if you remember, a few weeks ago, PM Abiy visited Afar. He held meetings with Afar traditional, Afar tribal elders. Eritrean government is also busy doing some work uh, It's a region which shares border with Ethiopia and Afar region. Eritrean government is focusing on developing there, and the people of the area, Afars living close to a support, are being taken on board. They're being contacted. So Afars, I think, can take advantage of the rising tension between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Afar suffered too in the 2 year long war because I covered what happened in some areas of the Afar region which are close to Tigray. The areas were totally inaccessible to aid organizations, and people suffered, died there because the terrain there is not suitable for delivery of aid to the people there. Afars did not get anything from being part of the war against Tigray. Another conflict could unfold on Afar territory, but Afars, I think, did not deal the conflict with Tigray in a smart manner. I think they should have got something from the federal government before joining the war against Tigray. And now, Afar region, Afar people have gained importance. Can they play their cards well? Can they ensure that they are able to cash in on the changed reality of bilateral Ethiopia relations? That remains to be seen. But holding of discussion about Red Sea in Afar is symbolic. A message from Ethiopian government that it is still uh, focused and it wants access to the Red Sea. But the participants at the university at the meeting said that the access to the Red Sea should be gained through negotiations or through dialogue. What will happen if the other side is not ready to negotiate? What will happen? Omar Adam says, I admire your impartial reporting. Thank you, Omar. Samuel Habte says, in your view, are there true reporting activists in Ethiopia, locally or abroad? I don't know much about them. I know a lot of people, a lot of activists, but it would be unfair to categorize them as uh, partial, as biased. There would be good people as well. But it's difficult, by the way. It's difficult for these activists to be impartial sometimes. Why? Because they lose their support base. They're criticized by people who are from the same ethnic group. It's difficult for politicians too. Politicians from Oromia are supposed to speak about Oromo issues. If they start speaking about the issues faced by Amhara people, they will be rejected by Oromos. So that is what happens. So these activists sometimes are forced to take position which they take, which are not impartial. And sometimes they are themselves brainwashed and they blindly support a cause. Debi Dobi says, dedicated, honest brother. Thank you, Debi Dobi. Dumbacha says, considering the current state of Ethiopia, I believe the occurrence of this war is very unlikely. That is what I have been saying for the last 2 months, that no war is imminent between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Tegisti has joined, says, hi, Sajid. Tegisti has not shared anything with me from Tigray, though I know she has connections there. Getachew is Amhara and you are supporting him. Tigray, the land of gods, is accusing, stop the crap. Wiz No Fear says, "Will you help Pakistan-Ethiopia relations in future?" I don't think there isn't any Pakistani who knows more about Ethiopia than you. Well, Pakistan-Ethiopia relations are not very strategic. Pakistan has never been interested, I think, in having relations, strategic relations with Ethiopia. But I would love to see people to people contact between the two countries. That is what I would like to see. But on government level, I don't want to be part of government's moves on both sides. Abekareo, what is your view if Ethiopia gains access to the Red Sea from Djibouti? What will be the future of Ethiopia relation? Very interesting question. Interesting scenario that if Ethiopia gains access to the Red Sea through Djibouti, will it have any impact, good or bad, on Eritrea-Ethiopia relations? Overall, it will be a good development because at least then the tensions between the two countries will uh, diffuse. It would be a good development. Ethiopia needs access to the Red Sea, no matter it is from which country it is, through which country it is. If Djibouti is ready, uh, Ethiopia would be happy. Biggest says we are working for peace, Sajid, and that takes time. So say no to war. We will defend ourselves if on any cost. Yeah, we should say no to war. I agree. But no one said no to war when the war between Tigray and federal government broke out. Uh, Tigrayan diaspora community, TPLF, people of Tigray, they should have put pressure upon TPLF. Ethiopians here on the other side should have put pressure upon Ethiopian government. It did not happen, by the way. Uh, and the war broke out. It went on for 2 years. Now, another war is warlike situation in the Amhara region. We should say no to the conflict in the Amhara region as well. So this conflict in the Amhara has potential of turning into a big conflict, already big conflict. Who is saying no to this conflict, by the way? No one. So, and that is what happened in the case of war in the northern Ethiopia. Masfan Kibro, you did not tell us about Addis Ababa office exam result. I think exam was postponed. I think it was postponed yesterday. It was not held, I think, maybe because of criticism, because this exam could be used, exam result could be used to remove people from government because government officials are being tested. This Fali that says how the security situation in the tribal regions of Pakistan. Not in tribal regions, security situation in other parts of Pakistan. The situation is not very enviable. There's no rule of law by it. Military in power, military can kidnap anyone, journalists being harassed, politicians being harassed. There is no rule of law in even urban areas of Pakistan. Anyone can be arrested. Anyone can be charged with supporting a party which is the target of military. Military wants to crush the party. That is Imran Khan's party, PTI. Yeah, Dambacha says Amhara is currently engaged in a full blown conflict. Yes, that is what I'm saying. That while we say we should condemn war, we should say no to war, we should say no to the conflict in the Amhara region. Abjon Arge, why are you interested in reporting conflict? I am interested because I like it. I like to point out the way a conflict arose, how the conflict is progressing, how maybe it can be resolved. I study conflicts. That is what I am interested in. I don't fuel conflicts. I study conflicts, I analyze conflicts, and I share my understanding with people. Now, let me speak a little about the new military operation, uh, which could start, which could intensify in a region in Ethiopia, because it is the main topic in this live chat session. Gambela region of Ethiopia shares border with Oromia. I think there is an airport too in Gambela. Uh, Oromo Liberation Army fighters have been working in collaboration with Gambela Liberation Front fighters. Gambela Liberation Front fighters were led by Getluag Paul, and he was close to uh, Kumsa Dereba. The two were seen together. But a few months ago, Getluag Paul signed peace deal with the regional government and federal government. His fighters have surrendered now, and he's part of, and he has laid down arms too. Oromo Liberation Army had presence in Gambela in the form of alliance with the GLF. Now, what has happened in the last few days is that Ethiopian military has sent military equipment to Gambela. The equipment arrived by air in Gambela, reportedly. There is no major conflict in Gambela ongoing. As I said, GLF has signed a peace deal. There could be a few elements there, but we cannot say that there is need of a major military operation in Gambela. Then, what is the purpose behind sending of heavy weapons to Gambela? Are the weapons going to be deployed to Gambela, uh, Sudan, Gambela, South Sudan border? Or is this military equipment is going to be transferred to the Oromia region? Because Gambela shares border with Oromia. And from Gambela, you can reach Valaga. Valaga is the stronghold of Oromo Liberation Army. It seems that the deployment of new military equipment to Gambela is linked to Ethiopian military's plans to launch a military operation, to intensify rather a military operation against the Oromo Liberation. And we could see an operation in Valaga. Though Jula, Birhanu Jula, Ethiopian military chief, was heard saying a few days ago that third round of talks would be held, and that would be last round of talks. He said, "We'll sit, either we'll resolve the conflict or it would be the last sitting." So it seems that maybe before the start of third round of talks, the military wants to weaken Ola. And Ola is carrying out attacks too. We saw that in North Shore, Ola fighters entered 3 towns this week. They freed prisoners. They tried to free prisoners there. They attacked a bank too. Then in Guji, ENDF members were taken prisoner by the Oromo Liberation Army. It seems maybe military wants to launch a small scale, limited operation against Ola. Military is not in a position to launch a full scale operation against Ola in Oromia because military is already busy in the Amhara region against Fano fighters. But the way Ola is carrying out attacks reaching North Shore, targeting areas in West Shore, I think military wants to launch an operation from Gambela because operation launched from Gambela towards Valaga will force Ola to retreat from areas close to Addis Ababa, from West Shore, from North Shore. Maybe Ola would retreat towards its base, that is Valaga. So that seems to be the reason behind deployment of heavy weapons to Gambela reported. Skahun says Oromoma want to annex part of Gambela, Benishangal, Harar, and Afar. I don't know, but I see the deployment heavy weapons linked to operation against all. Ibrahim says, any news about Afar Somali fighting? No new update. Alex Savoke says, that is the true nature of reporting facts without impartiality. Continue, Mr. Sadi. Thank you, Alex Savoke. Ibrahim says, any update from Amhara, Fano, and Ethiopian National Defense Force? I'll share an update tomorrow, hopefully. I did a detailed video yesterday, in which I mentioned the advance, the movement of Fano fighters in some cities. They entered, they attacked ENDF, they withdrew. Sam, yes, will a prolonged war in Tigray and Amhara destroy Ethiopian economy? Well, the war in Tigray has already damaged Ethiopian economy. Ethiopia had to pull out of its bid for being part of Berbera port. Ethiopia committed to build the port in coordination with Somaliland's government and UAE's DP World, but it had to withdraw. And then gradually we saw that because of the war, Ethiopia increased military spending, and Ethiopia could not handle droughts and famine-like situations. People dying, international community mistrusting Ethiopian government, USAID, World Food Program suspended food aid deliveries, IMF, World Bank reluctant to give loans to Ethiopia. So all that can be a result of the conflict in northern Ethiopia. Prolonged conflict in Amhara is definitely going to have its impact on Ethiopian economy. Heptab says, I tried to open the link but unable to be a member. I'll share the link in comment section too after this live chat session is over. But this link is found in a community section of the channel as well, and in every video's description section you can find the link. Link is clickable. If you click it, it will take you to the membership page. I wish to have good membership, because if we have good membership, we can start live chats on some website too. Why? Because sometimes channels are banned. You saw what happened to Ethio 360 people. Though I try to ensure that my reporting is impartial, but still you don't know about the algo, about how YouTube works. So I want to have good membership. If we have good membership, if we have hundreds of members, then we can start live chats on a website, which I will create. Perhaps that would be sustained solution to any threats. I know my channel was reported the 2 year long war. Several people tried to block this channel. It did not happen. And I tried to ensure that my reporting was not hateful, it wasn't provocative. I want to have good membership, then we can start chats on a website, and I can upload videos there too. So that if anything happens to the channel, we have a backup medium for connecting. Exaber has joined. Hi Sajid, how are you? I just joined. I've been lazy to remember, but I will soon. Exaber, thank you, but you're already a member because you help me a lot. I rely on you a lot because I found you very credible. Though I know what your loyalties are, but when it comes to sharing information with me, you have been very impartial and honest in the reporting which you shared with me. Sajid, do you imagine what and who is creating the conflict in Ethiopia before Tigray war, TPLF is blamed by the government? Yeni Musica, Sajid, keep up the good work. A trusted news in Horn of Africa is essential. Yes, I agree that we should have more trusted news sources. Lam Tisfa, is it true in Islam? It is believed a Habisha will destroy Makkah at the end of times. I don't know. I don't think there is anything like that mentioned in Quran. Uh, Quran is what we get guidance from. Quran is the word of God, unchanged uh, for more than 1,000 years. Our basic source of information is Quran. Then there is word of the Holy Prophet, which we call Hadith. The sayings of Holy Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad, peace be upon him, were written. The writing started 90 years after his death. So Hadith or Holy Prophet sayings sometimes are not as reliable as the word of God. So our basic source of information is Quran. There's nothing mentioned in Quran about a Habisha will destroy Makkah at the end of the world. Tishe Abdisa, could you please do a discussion on the general economic situation in relation to the ongoing security situation, international actors' role on the Ethiopian economy as soon as possible? Tishe, welcome to you. If you could help me, if you could join this discussion, uh, I am willing, but I am covering the link between economy. Maybe we can discuss more. 51 minutes have passed, viewers. I think we should end this live chat session. It was good to be with you almost on daily basis. We are having these live chats. I take your questions, respond to your comments, and share updates with you. Today, I shared three updates with you. One was about holding of a discussion at a university in a far region about access to the sea. Second update was about the arrests of Eritreans. No large-scale arrest campaign against Eritreans is underway. And thirdly, arrival, deployment of military equipment, heavy weapons by Ethiopian National Defense Force to the Gambela region, from where the weapons are expected to be transferred to Oromia to launch a military operation against Ola in Velega, it seems. Thank you for being part of this wonderful live chat session. See you tomorrow in the next live chat session. Stay blessed. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.